Hello viewers, today we are going to see about the concept of potential energy. The word potential suggests possibility or capacity for action. The term potential energy brings to one's mind stored energy. A stretched bowstring possesses potential energy. When it is released, the arrow flies off at a great speed. The Earth's crust is not uniform but has discontinuities and dislocations that are called fault lines. These fault lines in the Earth's crust are like compressed springs. They possess a large amount of potential energy. An earthquake results when these fault lines readjust. Thus, potential energy is the stored energy by virtue of the position or configuration of a body. The body left to itself releases this stored energy in the form of kinetic energy. Let us make our notion of potential energy more concrete. The gravitational force on a ball of mass m is mg. G may be treated as a constant near the Earth's surface. By near we imply that the height h of the ball above the Earth's surface is very small compared to the Earth's radius, re. That is, h is very much less than re, so that we can ignore the variation of g near the Earth's surface. In what follows, we have taken the upward direction to be positive. Let us raise the ball up to a height h. The work done by the external agency against the gravitational forces is mgh. This work gets stored as potential energy. Gravitational potential energy of an object as a function of the height h is denoted by V of h and is the negative of work done by the gravitational force in raising the object to that h. So, gravitational potential energy of an object as a function of height h is denoted by V of h. So, V of h is equal to mass into acceleration due to gravity into h. So, this gravitational potential energy is the negative work done because it is acting against the gravitational pull. If h is taken as variable, it is easily seen that the gravitational force equals the negative of the derivative of V of h with respect to h. Thus, the force, gravitational force is equal to minus d by dh of V of h. That means V of h is mass into gravity into h. You substitute here. Mg is constant. Differentiation of h is 1. Therefore, force is equal to minus mg. The negative sign indicates that the gravitational force is downward. When released, the ball comes down with an increasing speed. Just before it hits the ground, its speed is given by the kinematic equation V square is equal to 2gh. We already know V square is equal to u square plus 2as. U is the initial velocity, which is 0, plus 2as, 2 into acceleration due to gravity, and s is the distance. Here the distance is height h. So now this equation can be written as V square. You have gh, bring this to this side, so 2 will come here. Multiply left hand side by m, right hand side by m. So half mv square is equal to mgh. Once again I repeat, Bring this to this side. Multiply both sides by m. So you will get half mv square is equal to mgh. Which shows that the gravitational potential energy of the object at height h when the object is released manifests itself as kinetic energy of the object on reaching the ground. So this is the left hand side is nothing but the kinetic energy. So when a body at a certain height is released, you will get the kinetic energy as half mv square, and that can be equated to mass into acceleration due to gravity multiplied by height. Physically, the notion of potential energy is applicable only to the class of forces where work done against the force gets stored up as energy. When external constraints are removed, it manifests itself as kinetic energy. Mathematically, for simplicity in one-dimensional, the potential energy V of x is defined if the force F of x can be written as force F of x is equal to minus dV by dx. This is potential energy. Now you are bring this dx this side, so it becomes fx into dx. Now you integrate both sides. Bring this dx this side and then you integrate. The integration limit is from xi initial distance to final distance except here initial velocity into final velocity. So integration of dv is v, upper limit minus lower limit, you substitute in that value, so you will get vi. See, vf minus vi is the answer, but this, if you take this minus sign inside, so you will get vi minus vf. The work done by a conservative force such as gravity depends on the initial and final positions only. In the previous chapter, we have worked on examples dealing with inclined planes. Inclined planes mean there will be a slope. If an object of mass m is released from rest from the top of a smooth, frictionless inclined plane of height h, its speed at the bottom is root of 2gh, irrespective of the angle of inclination. Even though it is inclined planes, the theta is totally not involved because the answer is root of 2gh, its speed. So its speed depends only on the acceleration due to gravity and the height. Thus, at the bottom of the inclined plane, it acquires a kinetic energy mgh. If the work done or the kinetic energy did depend on other factors such as the velocity or the particular path taken by the object, the force would be called non-conservative. Once again I repeat, if the work done or the kinetic energy did depend on other factors such as the velocity or the particular path taken by the object, the force would be called non-conservative. So the dimension of potential energy are ml square t power minus 2. Okay, and the unit is joule capital J, the same as kinetic energy or work. So you all know that kinetic energy is half mv squared, half is constant, mass into velocity, mass unit is m, velocity is distance by time, the square, so L square divided by t square. Move the t to the numerator, you will get t power minus 2. To reiterate, the change in potential energy for a conservative force, del V is equal to the negative of the work done by the force, that is del V. Del V is what? Change in potential energy, which is equal to minus f of x. This is the force multiplied by del x is the distance. So in the example of the following body considered in this section, we saw how potential energy was converted to kinetic energy. This hints at an important principle of conservation in mechanics, which we now proceed to examine. So that's all about concept of potential energy. Hope you have understood this topic. Thanks for watching. Nandri.